business? New business, resolution 2012-01.
I would make a motion for the approval Board of Works, Public Works and Safety Resolution 2012-1 for the encumbrance of $181,532.62.
Second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opening of bids for 2013.
On November 21st, 2012, the Board of Public Works and Safety did advertise for bids. Sealed bids were to be submitted not later than December the 19th, 2012, and they were for the purchase of supplies for all various departments of the civil city of Logansport. Those bids have been received, and hermetically sealed envelopes shall be opened. We have a bid from Engineering Aggregates. A bid from M.R. Louthan. See if the envelope matches the name on the inside.
Couldn't we have gotten you a fancy opener?
Hmm?
Shouldn't we have gotten you a fancy opener?
I don't know. Maybe that was extra.
Put them on claims for next month.
Yes, and a bid from Leo Brown Construction. And a bid from Central Paving. So we've received 4 bids. I would make a motion that we accept those 4 bids and take them under advisement.
Second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Forgot what I was doing. Building Commissioner.
Good morning. I did submit my weekly report. I'm a little late again. Is there any questions on that report? I have requested appearance of 2 property owners. I have property at 529 Washington Street and property at 208 South 6th Street. Is anybody here from those properties? No. I gave each a copy of the letters of notice that I had sent to each one of the property owners. The property owner at 529 Washington Street was notified a year ago about his property condition. He has a home which is in dire need of remodel and repair, and I do have pictures of that. We've received numerous complaints from property owners on both sides of this residence about the deteriorating roof condition of the home, as well as the garage that is on the property, which is going to collapse very soon and in total disrepair. The history goes back, as I said, to 2011. The owner of the property attended a board meeting on July 27, 2011, issued a letter to the then building commissioner and the board that he was going to, his statement, he will be replacing the roof this fall and repairing the garage. And that was to be completed in the fall of 2011, and at the board meeting it was continued until October 5th to come back in front of the board. Even though that came back in front of the board on October 5th, 2011, I have no records of that. I did speak to the individual that owns the property. The individual had more to refer to his neighbors at that location than he did about the concern of his home and about the garage. He informed me that he was going to do the repairs, but he would not give me a date as to when he could do the repairs. I would make a recommendation, or I would ask the board if they would make a recommendation that we issue a 10-day notice to this individual. The garage is in terrible shape, but it is ready to collapse. If you can see in the photos that I gave you, and it's been that way since early 2011. No work has been done on the home. The home is vacant. Nobody is living in the home at this present time. The roof continues to deteriorate and fall off into the neighbors' yards, and it is definitely a blight to the neighborhood, at least in that section of the block. So I would request that the board allow me to issue a 10-day notice to this owner, putting him on a 10-day notice that we will demolish the home, and we will, I don't know, I guess I would ask for suggestions or recommendations for the board on the house itself. The house itself is physically in fair enough shape that it could be rehabilitated and it could be made habitable, but the roof condition is just deteriorating. If it continues the way it is now, it's just going to destroy the home from water getting inside the house. So at a bare minimum, I would recommend that we issue a 10-day notice to tear down the garage that's on the back portion of the property, because it is a hazard to health, and it is an eyesore and a blight to the community. And I would issue also another notice giving him 10 days to supply a schedule as to when he's going to repair the roof on the home.
So that 10 days will be the legal notification that we are required to provide the homeowner. Is that correct?
That is correct. That's the minimum.
I'd make a motion that we authorize the building commissioner to do a 10-day notice.
Second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Thank you. The second property we have is at 208 South 6th Street. This property is on today's meeting agenda because of the exterior deterioration of the building. We had the event on Thanksgiving Day of the fire at 206 South 6th Street, I believe the property address was. In the ensuing insurance investigation of the abutting property owner at 210 South 6th Street, their insurance investigator had supplied a written report which referred to the conditions of the property at 208 South 6th Street. In the report, the insurance investigator had made reference to the 208 South 6th Street, and in his report, to quote him, the cracks indicate the northeast corner of the building is detaching from the building. Since the three-story building is leaning to the north, collapse of the northeast corner could trigger a sudden and catastrophic collapse of a much larger section of the building. Collapse of the building has the potential to cause physical damage, injury, and loss of life. I went back into the files. We have a photo file of that structure that goes back to 2008. The conditions the investigator is talking about are the same today as they were in 2008. The building condition, the crackage, the separation that he referred to today was there in 2008. The building commissioner in 2008 did issue a letter to the property owner declaring it was an unsafe structure, required correspondence as to what he was going to do to correct the problem. I find no response in the files from the owner back in 2008. I did issue on December 13th a similar notice to the owner with new pictures, requiring that the owner respond and appear today to have a discussion about what he was going to do with the building. It's my position right now that since we have on file an insurance investigator that has brought to light a severe and life-threatening condition, that we need to react to this to a specific level. So what I would ask the board is if it would give me permission to issue this landowner, or property owner, a 10-day notice to supply the Board of Public Works some sort of engineering report as to the actual condition of that building, whether it is a unsafe structure and is ready to collapse or not. I do believe it is an important issue. I don't think it is a crisis issue, since we have the photos from 2008 and photos of today show the exact same condition of the building. It does not show that it has reached any further appreciable breakdown on the facility itself. But for me, we have two issues. One, that we don't have a reciprocal event tag because we had a fire on the end of the block in Thanksgiving, that because of the actions that were taken during the firefighting event and consequently the demolition of the building after the fire event, that we don't have any person or company try to pull together a chain of events, that's what created the damage on 208 South 6th Street. And then also the fact that we have an insurance investigator who is a PE stating that we have a structure that could pose a threat to life and limb in our community.
Is that the building that was almost adjoining the fire damaged building to the north?
No, actually it's the adjacent one north of that. We had the one at the I think it was 212 South 6th Street was the fire, which was the building behind the Kevin Crook Insurance Agency, which was attached to then 2010, which was the Townhouse Beauty Parlor, which was next to that. Now this is the building that is north of that, which is 208.
And is the 208 the one that actually faces onto 6th Street? Not 6th Street, north?
No, it doesn't face on the north. It actually faces on, no, there's one more building, I think, north of that. There's actually an alley between 208 and then the next facility north of that.
Okay. Would that be the same as what was formerly known as King's Hatchery building?
I'm sorry, that was before my time. It's currently they did have a Mexican restaurant on the first floor of that facility back in 07 and 08. I mean, it's currently vacant and it's currently listed on the market for sale.
So, again, summarizing what you're asking us to do is authorize you to give us 10 days.
Well, I would like permission to issue a letter to the current owners, giving them 10 days to supply some type of engineered inspection report to the city, clarifying the building is safe and structurally sound, and it is not imminently going to collapse and create a hazard for life.
I'd make a motion that we authorize you to do that.
Second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
That is all I have.
Okay. I make a motion to approve the building commissioner's report.
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And no other department heads are here. Any board member comments?
None.
Visitor comments? Thank you. Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.